The semifinals are upon us here in New Orleans. We're having such a great time here on Championship Sunday, and it is time to get the women on the sand. It is an epic matchup between the number 1 and the number 6 seed, Kelly Cheng and Betsy Flint, versus Emily Day and Haley Harward. A new partnership at the number 6 seed here at Coconut Beach Volleyball Complex. Cameron Irwin alongside the one and only Rich Lamborn. The stage is set. They are all warmed up and ready to go. We just have introductions left. We've got Mark Sherman down on the sand.
I don't believe you, Daniel. I don't believe you. You sure? Am I on camera? Am I on camera? Oh, hey there. I am on camera. Look at that. Look at me. Oh, I look pretty good. Hey there. It is time for the women's semifinals, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this thing, shall we? If you're in the crowd here on Stadium Core, we have got some medium-sized balls signed by all of these ladies, and you better let them know as they come on the court if you want one of these balls. First up, this player, what is it, 2-time now? Just got it done. Just got it done for the 2nd year in a row at USC. Played indoor at Long Beach, came into USC, and got back-to-back national championships. Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear it for Haley Harward. Oh, she knows where she's going, right to the entourage. She knows what team she's on. Speaking of the team, oh my goodness, Emily, what a partner. Found her last second. Just slide into those DMs. You need a partner last second. You got a pretty good one. She travels with her own entourage, ladies and gentlemen, out of Torrance, California, and LMU. It's Emily Day. Now this team, you know what? They might not travel with an entourage. If you did travel with an entourage, who would it be? Would it be mostly Clayses and Chengs? Would it be mostly Meters and Flints? I'm not sure. We need to get them out here. We need to get I feel like we can get a couple thousand out here. Make it happen. Maybe from Phoenix. Maybe another crew from Phoenix. I like it. A couple of players from Phoenix. This one also out of LMU. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the smartest players on tour, and now she gets to go up against her former partner. Can't wait to watch the head games between Emily and Betsy Flint. You don't play head games. You just keep smiling. You just keep laughing and smiling and maybe going on too. Maybe not. I don't know. You don't know. I don't know. You don't even know. You don't even know until it happens. Ladies and gentlemen, a 78-time national champion out of US. Maybe 4. Actually, I think it was 4. Or was it 6? Who knows? They counted weird back then. Ladies and gentlemen, out of Fullerton, California, let me hear it for Kelly Cheng.
A former partnership now facing off. Betsy Flint against her former partner, Emily Day. They have played 16 tournaments previously together, winning 3 titles together as well, but now they find themselves on opposing sides of the net. Flint now partnered with Cheng as the number 1 seed, and Harward, that's Haley Harward, the 2-time national champion out of USC, with the great blocker, Emily Day. On the left side of your screen, Cameron Irwin alongside Rich Lamborn. And I have a feeling we're going to see some physical play out of those two. Emily Day and Haley Harward.
This is back-to-back matchups now for Cheng and Flint, of the kind of veteran partner taking the collegiate player fresh off the championship, as you mentioned.
That's a great call by you. Their last matchup was against Meg Kraft and Emily Stockman. Meg Kraft being one of those USC Trojans, also back-to-back national champion.
Took them a little while yesterday, didn't it, Cheng and Flint, to find their form. Let's see if they can get into it a little bit earlier in this semifinal matchup.
So you talked about finding their form a little bit. Where were some of the things that they needed to look for to get into better rhythm in that last match?
Yeah, I think we saw, serving plays an important role in their game plan, and they had some mistakes. The on-two game, obviously a big part, and they weren't just kind of as crisp as they're accustomed to being, I don't think. Looks like they're rolling pretty early on here, but still obviously a lot of match left.
That's a great call by you in terms of the serving pressure from those two of the toughest servers on tour. And there's a nice block from Kelly Cheng.
A net violation is going to be
and Kelly Cheng making sure Emily Day is all right there. There's a bit of a collision underneath the net.
Oh, that was a net on Emily. Huh? I wasn't sure which way that went.
Day pulling out the hand and a nice shot from Haley Harward. Emily Day currently looking for her 10th AVP victory. We saw her in Austin playing alongside Emily Stockman.
4-2.
A newer partnership between these two after Harward just got off the sand for the NCAA championships.
Yeah, nice upgrade to M. Day's game too the last couple of years, breaking out those hands as you mentioned. She was always a bump setter and a very proficient one at that, but hand setting is an extra tool to have in your bag and a very good one. She's doing a great job of it.
That's a great call by you. The development of hand setting on the women's game has been phenomenal in the last 5 to 7 years in beach volleyball. Talked about the advantage so many times on our coverage. I'm sure we'll get into it further. That ball just wide from Betsy Flint.
Yeah, it just adds a measure of accuracy to your setting and therefore your side out game. And really anymore, if you're not hand setting the ball, you're getting left behind, so to speak.
Tough ball for Kelly Cheng. Not just falling inside. Kelly Cheng and Betsy Flint have played 3 matches to get to this point. All wins. 2 of those going 3 sets.
That is out of bounds.
And a rare hitting error from Kelly Cheng on that poke towards the line.
It just looked a little mistimed, didn't it? She looked like she might have been a touch early. Just lost a little bit of control on that knuckle pokey.
And she pulls the knucks back out, but this time into the angle. Side out, Cheng and Flint.
Yeah, better timing on that shot and full control.
I've seen Cheng frequently use the hybrid serve, tossing with 2 hands and adding some topspin to it. And right on cue, there it is, paying dividends.
Yeah, that looked like an easy point, but it shouldn't be underestimated how difficult that is to sprint all the way up and gather yourself, not net, and put that ball away. Nicely done, Kelly Cheng.
Again, the line-to-line, the shortest distance on the court, tough serve, and Haley Harward handled it beautifully.
How about the fitness level on the side of Day and Harward? Looks like a CrossFit competition out there, for Christ's sake.
Two very physical athletes. Great footwork from Harward. And a little finesse.
That's 7-7.
And you mentioned the footwork. It was an excellent look at it there as Haley dug that ball, gathered right to the middle of the court to give herself that inside to out approach on the right side. Just very well done, clearly well coached by our own Dane Blanton.
Well, and to your point about the footwork, I was going to say that's also a great view of what Dane Blanton calls just an incredible athlete. And you saw her vertical leap there as well. Just a phenomenal jumper in the sand. She put so much time into her physicality, her strength training. But how about that set from Betsy Flint? The spin of that ball could have easily drifted that ball towards the net, and instead she changes it and gives just enough distance.
Yeah, no shortage of ball control from any of these 4 players out here.
saving that from the net. Nice touch, pulling off the net for Kelly Cheng.
A net violation is the call. It'll be a point to Harward.
And a net violation on Betsy Flint, but I'm not sure she's too happy with that call.
26-24 in set number 1.
Clearly somebody was in the net there.
Winner of that match plays the winner of this one in the final.
That getting a little bit tight from Cheng there in transition.
Quiet platform from Cheng. Stepping into that. Talk to me about ball control on that dig. How hard is it to keep that on your side of the net?
Yeah, it's very difficult. You know, that could be a function of a little bit of tension. Obviously an important match, high stakes here, being the semifinals of this tournament. But Haley Harward touching just about everything now, and she'll start to control those, I think.
Harward ripping away. 9-9.
Rich Lamborn, the coach of Taylor Crabb and Taylor Sander. Also a U.S. member, and also, I believe, what, Libero, you know something about digging. Just
By U.S. member, you mean I have my citizenship? That is correct.
U.S. member of the national team, excuse me. Former.
Into the deep angle goes Kelly Cheng, 10 looking at 9.
Can't get away with anything with you, Rich.
Yeah, to your point though, getting in the right position defensively is only part of the battle. Controlling the ball once it comes to you, obviously the second part of that equation.
(11-9) now. Cheng and Flint. How about that wrist? Beautifully done from Haley Harward.
We're going to take the technical timeout.
Yeah, that was a tough position from which to hit, and she really wrapped that down the line beautifully to get out of the reach of Kelly Cheng.
Take a look at this shot, beautifully done, just out of reach of Kelly Cheng, like you mentioned, into the technical timeout. It is a 1-point game. This is the women's semifinals here in New Orleans. Day and Harward just in their first tournament together. And there is a great graphic for you. 67th tournament for Emily Day, and Haley Harward just in her 7th. A veteran with a rookie, but let's talk a little bit about Haley Harward, because she also recently won the National Player of the Year, or excuse me, National Pair of the Year alongside Tina Gradina, and was a part of the Pac-12 Pair of the Year as well. We already mentioned the 2-time national champion, but the experience coming out of the college game, showing up big time, already making a semifinal here with a new partner in Emily Day.
Yeah, 7 AVP tournaments, or 6 before this tournament under her belt. And in Tina Gradina, she has an internationally experienced partner. So no doubt they were a handful at the collegiate ranks.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to see them on the other side of the net. And there's the first option play we've seen, such a critical part of these two in terms of the equation for success.
It really is woven into their offensive game.
And again, the line-to-line serve, we've seen Kelly Cheng use this throughout this match. Why is the line-to-line so challenging?
Well, it gives you the least amount of time to react to it, certainly. And it also forces you to create, not necessarily an awkward angle, but a less than comfortable angle, let's say.
Trying to make the opposing side out uncomfortable. Haley Harward doing a nice job fighting those off, though. and chopping that into the line again. Kelly Cheng staying very steady on the left side of the court over there, whether it's from the service pressure or the side out game.
Yeah, speaking of service pressure, that was a great serve from M. Day, handled quite well by Kelly Cheng.
Two-point game now in the midway point. Set number 1. Topspin jumper from Harward and a high deep ball on the shoulder of Flint. Nice communication sets that play up in transition for Harward.
Yeah, it started off with a great serve. I don't remember if it was you and I that talked about this, Cameron, but there are a couple ways to miss your serve: into the net and long. And certainly long, the preferred method there is that serve may have been going out, but Betsy took it anyhow. Turns into a point for Day and Harward.
And some more good communication on the other side. Betsy Flint passing that ball, immediately dropping her eyes to the other side of the net.
Yeah, just good calm execution from the veteran team.
It's a great call by you. Execution, calmness, poise, that is what Betsy Flint can bring, along with a lot of destructive offensive power and high volleyball IQ. The steadiness about her. And a little luck as well.
16-13.
Yeah, that was clearly not intentional, but Cheng and Flint will absolutely take it regardless.
For the number 1 seed, Betsy Flint and Kelly
So 16-13, Cheng and Flint with a 3-point advantage. Force a timeout for Day and Harward. And you can see Vea, the new sponsorship, hotel out of Newport for Cheng and Flint. Wrapped across. There's a look at Jordan Cheng, husband to Kelly Cheng, formerly Kelly Clays, also a USD Trojan. Just their second tournament together as partners. Kelly Cheng coming off an Olympic run with Sarah Sponsel. Sponsel now playing alongside Therese Cannon. And Betsy Flint also recently having a little one. Baby Cora surely tuning in.
Which means we're not going to sleep tonight.
She came back to the beach prepared like no other. And her game is back in full force. I think she's more deadly now than even before.
Here we go. 16 looking at 13. Kelly
certainly
Cheng
make that
will
argument.
serve. Up by 3 in set number 1.
Let's look at Betsy Flint. Setting up block and defense. High set.
17-13.
Really solid block from Kelly Cheng.
Block number 3 up by 4.
Again, starts with a great serve down the line. Puts Haley Harward in a little bit of a tough position, and then great handwork closing that line down, Kelly Cheng.
And another tough serve. Haley Harward is seeing every side out ball, and immediately after that, you saw the switch. She's now onto the left side.
Yeah, that's a tactic a lot of teams will employ if, you know, they face a little rut. They'll switch sides, just give the opposing team a different look. Maybe make them switch up where they're serving, how they're serving.
Harward already with 15 total attacks. They're still going to find her on the left as that ball goes over the net. And power from Betsy Flint.
Just one force is the name of the game for Cheng and Flint right now.
Blunt force trauma at the hand of Betsy Flint. She'll own it.
The
ace brings us to set point with the drop call.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite DJ Ruche sound effects right there, the Beastie Boys.
Crochet always on point. And a block to seal set number one, 21-13. Highly efficient play from the number one seed, Cheng and Flint.
Yeah, and we kind of talk a lot about capitalizing on opportunities, don't we, Cameron? And certainly we saw that dig of Betsy Flint that was technically a mistake and that it was an overpass, but it fell. They were very fortunate to get that point, and they really capitalized on that and ran all the way through to the end of that set.
And it is time for the Sky Vodka.
Capitalizing for sure is the number one seed as they are just one set away from the final. The AVP is brought to you by Terramana Small Batch Tequila. Bring on the mana. By Clean Skin. High performance sunscreen and skincare products for the outdoor lifestyle. By White Claw Hard Seltzer. And by Sky Vodka. Made with water enriched by Pacific minerals for a fresher tasting vodka and soda.
Get ready for a whole new wave of White Claw. New full flavor White Claw Surf. Sensational refreshment for a taste like no other.
We all know it's a good idea to recycle. But what happens to that aluminum can or all that paper after you put it in the recycling bin? Where does it go? What does it become in its second life? See how WM is always working for a sustainable tomorrow at WM.com/stories.
It's the choices we make that define us.
Tryon Trevor's coming off a tough, heartbreaking loss.
And ultimately, the enemy is within. Some people want it, some wish for it, but others make it happen.
Tryon Trevor's super lethal, bringing fire and passion to the court.
How will you take charge?
A little bit of a need here for MJ and Haley Harward as they drop set number one. And take a look at the stats here in the women's semifinals. Rich, what are you seeing?
Well, that all comes up Cheng and Flint, doesn't it? But really the second half of that set was the story. It was pretty tight until about midway through. And as we talked about kind of at the end there, they turned a fortunate break, did Cheng and Flint into a massive run to close out that first set.
A massive run it was, now into the second set. These two teams fighting for a spot in the semifinals, or excuse me, in the finals. And a little bit of encouragement and support coming on the side of Day and Harward.
And there's a little bit of a break in the hitting error by Kelly Cheng. Can Dan Harward capitalize on that good fortune?
And a quick comeback for Kelly Cheng into the angle. I feel like I'm starting to see a few more, we'll call them shots, or maybe just easy side outs for Kelly Cheng.
Yeah, she does have a good mixture in her game, maybe trying to give Em and Haley a variety.
Yeah, it seems like she is mixing up her shots a little bit more. I like seeing that from Kelly Cheng. Also one of those that can bring the power, not just with her right hand, but also her left hand. Ambidextrous, no doubt. Dan Harward, though, much better start here in set number 2. That's going to help, too. Tough serve. Some heat from Kelly Cheng. I talked about it. There's some versatility, the power.
Yeah, she doesn't want to let you think she's just a shooter. She's still got the hammer.
A little bit of a quicker tempo there out of the hands of Emily Day, changing the pace of the set. Seeing some high balls, some lowers as well.
Anything you can do to disrupt the rhythm of the blocker is good for you as an offensive player.
Looking for the line-to-line herself is Haley Harward as she misses that ball.
Guiding the poke into the floor.
Another good ball. This time Harward getting a break on the side out. M-Day stepping in.
Out on the outer courts after taking a hard spot, set number 1.
And we see the advantage of the hand setting there, just shoveling that thing up to her partner with Haley Harward.
Match point on outer court number 1.
Cheng and Flint finished with a 3rd place in the first tournament of the season on the AVP Tour. Back in Austin, they came in the 2nd seed. Option play, well dug. And Haley Harward gets a hand on it. That ball may have been going out.
You could hear Emily Day calling it out, but especially early on in the set, I like the idea of playing the close one of Betsy be in position to take a shot from Harward early in the set already and let it go, and it landed on the line. So, especially when you're in full pursuit, I say you just go.
And this is clearly an element that they've added in set number 2, trying to get Emily Day a little bit more involved offensively, looking for an option play.
It just does a nice job to take some pressure off of your younger partner, who's seeing the majority of the serves from Cheng and Flint.
Both these teams trading side outs. Just after the first 3 contacts, first ball side out. That is a great pass, and look what she's able to do with it.
Yeah, that's a wonderful swing, too. I mean, as you mentioned, great pass, but that is not easy to take a ball that's spinning the opposite way, get on top of it, and hammer it. Well done, M-Day.
That's a great shot from our crew to be able to see the spin of the ball and the pace. Good side of the net, the right side, but also at the same time, maybe having that ball trail off the net just a little bit more with the wind in the face of Betsy Flint and Kelly Cheng. You can see our flags here on Stadium Court. Lower set, change of pace.
Yeah, really nicely done. Haley Harward was kind of in the right area, but that increased tempo didn't give her the time to get underneath that ball.
Off the left shoulder of Betsy Flint. Free ball for Flint. And some jumbo shrimp. Betsy Flint challenging the deep high angle above Harward's head.
can see it's getting a little breezy out there, right? The wind playing a little bit of a factor on some of these sets, I think, especially in transition.
And here's a look at the Wilson volleyball play of the day. That just off the shoulder, the nice chase from Kelly Cheng. Free ball set back to Betsy Flint. And here it is, challenging the back half of the court. Winds reaching about 10 miles per hour now.
Judging by the flags, you'd have to think that Day and Haley Harward are on the good side.
So you might see a little bit more aggressive serve play as you see the jump topspin. Nice touch up at the net. Day keeps that alive. And the on-one from Harward.
Oh my goodness, what a rally.
And assignment from Haley Harward.
As Day and Harward up 8-7.
And just some unbelievable touches from Harward. Full layout digs, and she's rewarded with the point for her team.
By 2-9-7 Harward today.
And the plays just keep giving better. So we're going to give another Wilson play of the day out because, I mean, I think that one just leveled us up. Why not?
Yeah, I think mentally I'm in sync with our producer, Mallory, because I was literally just thinking that it's too bad we gave away the Wilson play of the day already, but there it is again.
Yeah, Mallory and Ange have got us covered all day long. Fans in the truck, too, our incredible crew with Echo Entertainment. Fighting through the heat and having plenty of fun here in New Orleans. Ball just out of bounds again. The door being left open for Day and Harward here to take set number 2. Just a few errors on the side of Cheng and Flint. Day has been working on her serve, trying to add some more variety in. She'll go from the jump float to the jump topspin serve. And then she's been working on this off season. The nice shot from Betsy Flint.
Always looking to add tools to the tool belt. Her float serve is quite formidable, but if she can add weapons, that's always a good thing.
And a nice back set and delivery. Oh, it's just out of bounds. I thought that one hit the line.
Yeah, it looked very impressive, but just wide of the tape, unfortunately, for Haley Harward. A good swing and a great set, but ultimately a point for Cheng and Flint.
Still trying to bring the pace from the back line, and I still love it at the technical timeout, trailing by 1. It's the number 1 seed. You have to imagine, though, there's just these little details not necessarily going their way or a ball missing by about 6 or 7 inches. Things start to turn their direction. They could get on a run here.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of what happened around this juncture in the first set for Cheng and Flint. Obviously, they would love to close this out as quickly as possible.
Yeah, they would. They would. If they did, they would end up facing off against Close and Nuss in the final as they have taken down Kraft and Stockman, the number 5 seed. So the Louisiana favorites, the number 2 seed, Kristen Nuss from the great state of Louisiana, Karen Close out of South Dakota, but also the LSU Tigers have made the final, and they are your champions from just a few weeks ago in Austin, Texas. Who will face off against them in the final? The AVP Tour? Well, this match will determine that. Will it be the number 1 seed? Kelly Cheng still looking for her 2nd title on the AVP Tour after competing for several seasons now. She's been spending a lot of time on the international circuit, having chased her Olympic dreams and making it just a year ago alongside Sarah Sponsel.
And we talked about it yesterday, right? It's kind of unusual about Kelly Cheng's career that she's got more international wins than she does domestic. That is not a common occurrence.
Kelly Cheng checking that ball mark. Her one AVP title came alongside Sarah Hughes as you take a look. And the officials stand just in the way of our shot. And I believe that win actually came back in 2017. Yes, it did in Chicago. Last win for Betsy Flint was back in 2019 in Hermosa alongside none other than Emily Day.
M. Day, a two-time Manhattan Beach Open champ too, so she got a couple plaques on the ear.
And looking to join great company too, looking for her 10th AVP win, AVP title. You to be up at that point. Nice pickup from Harward. Wow, shoulders into the angle. That was deceptive.
We're going to take a team timeout. Timeout by Cheng and Flint. The entourage.
Yeah, I think Day and Harward are just a little bit more crisp in their ball control and their execution right now. Some shaky settings, certainly by the standards of Cheng and Flint on their side of the net right now, has them in a little bit of a hole here.
15-11 for Day and Harward, forcing a timeout. That's a great call by you in terms of recognizing that setting. Paying attention, also important to note, setting becomes so mental, right? Especially when you're going from one side of the court to the other, the good side to the bad side. You have to make adjustments on every single contact.
Yeah, you really do need to factor in that wind and set yourself up physically to make sure that all your kind of technical elements of your setting are in line, so you can give your partner what she needs out there.
Yeah, without a doubt, as M. Day and Haley Harward are going to come out of this timeout and look to push this to 3 sets. The crew and the crowd here in New Orleans has just been absolutely phenomenal. It's about 90 degrees. We've got humidity, well, we'll say through the roof right now. But everyone having a great time, staying as cool as they can. Some Kona Brew. Not us in the booth though, Rich. We're just going with the white can of water.
Correct.
Miss serve out of the timeout, a 3-point game. You can hear Emily Day having the conversation, taking away the middle ball as she does just there. Quick hit up from Harward, and wow, this is what Emily Day, or excuse me, Kelly Cheng does best. She does such a nice job picking up the read there, full send on the block press, and a block point for Cheng.
Yeah, agreed. That's a ball you got to clean up. It's kind of advantage to you as the blocker when the set's tight there. You're disciplined with your hands like we saw Kelly Cheng be there. Easy money.
The pace.
A little bit of a break, I think, for Cheng and Flint. A great dig from Betsy Flint, and again, just not quite as precise as we're used to seeing the set be from Kelly Cheng in transition there. I think she's got to clean that up a little bit if they hope to overtake Day and Harward in this second set and close this match out.
So far, it's been a 3-point run. It was 15
And
to 11. It takes now 16-14. So they finally slow the roll of Cheng and Flint. I'm going to be curious to see which of these two blockers steps up late because Emily Day has also been notorious for some timely blocks at the end of sets as she finally gets a good read on the attacker. Kelly Cheng can do exactly that as well. A pirouette from Cheng. Great touch and delivery.
Cheng and Flint just seem a little bit out of sorts defensively. I know there may be some communication issues or something, but not to be discredited, a great shot right up the middle from Haley Harward.
And some craft there as Betsy Flint pushes that ball up. Both hands up for Kelly Cheng.
Yeah, and if you're having a little bit of trouble locating your sets, just bypass it altogether and go over on 2.
Oh, I love the
Betsy
effort.
Flint
Quite
makes a
clear,
little
though.
bit of a
It's
scary tumble there into our official
go.
stand, but she's all good. Stands right back up. That's a good call by you. Might as well just, avoid the set altogether. Just option. Go with your strength. Kelly Cheng surely will figure it out, though. Needs to make a little bit of an adjustment with that set, as you mentioned. M. Day trying to apply the pressure. 3-point advantage.
Ball with that one out of bounds.
Ball out of
It's
bounds.
19-15.
Haley Harward has been playing some phenomenal defense behind the block of Emily Day. Had some struggle with the side-out game in set 1, but that has definitely changed here into set number 2. And again, to your point, Rich, working with the option.
Yeah, especially when M. Day's back there serving, she's got to serve and then run all the way up to the net. So if you can kind of minimize the time she has to get set up, the better for your team.
Now on the good side, Cheng and Flint. And that's what we saw a lot of in set 1. Trying to kind of handcuff Harward to that right sideline, making her attack from the exterior of the court. Not a lot of room to work with when you go at the block of Kelly Cheng in front of you. A little bit more space, and the ball is out of bounds. But you gotta like that swing from Harward. Just inches away.
And we're taking a team time
Yeah,
out to
I love the
drama.
swing. Everybody is going to make a mistake here or there. I like the aggressiveness of it. It's the right swing. Maybe just a hint of wind at her back carries that just over the end line. Nothing to be discouraged about there. They take a timeout and they got to come out still with their guns blazing, as they clearly have the advantage in this second set. But charging are Cheng and Flint.
Charging is a very adequate and accurate term. Just a 1-point game. Jordan Cheng under the umbrella. Does a lot of work with data volley for these two. And if you are new to the game of volleyball, it's both in indoor and now in beach. Jordan Cheng statting a lot of what they do. It was intriguing. They were educating me on their passing system. Traditionally in the indoor game, you pass on a 3-point scale. And Jordan actually stats them on a 4-point scale. So a perfect pass is a 4. And Betsy Flint told me her passing has gotten better because there have been a couple times where she thought the ball was good enough and Jordan's given her a 3 instead of 4, and she said, she said it's definitely helped increase her expectations on what a good pass is and what a good pass is not. So again, Jordan Cheng adding a lot to these two in terms of the analytics of beach volleyball. Back out of the timeout. Cheng and Flint need some defense. And Betsy Flint's there. option, and we're tied at 19.
4 points in a row.
Pretty
for
play
Cheng
from
and
the number
Flint.
one
We are
seed.
tied at 19.
How about this turn of events? Seemed all but in the bag for Dan Harward in the second set, but coming on strong here late.
Another good defensive touch from Flint. And Harward gets one of her own.
5 points in a row.
Defenders are
2019, and it
just
is
on
match
point in this matchup. Who is going to the final? Cheng and Flint have put themselves in a very solid position. It is now match point for the number one seed.
And just an unbelievable run, as we heard Mark Sherman announce their 5 straight for Cheng and Flint, and really doing it on the back of some great service pressure exclusively on Harward from Betsy Flint.
Looking for one more tough serve on the good side. Harward on the left.
That'll stop the run. That'll keep
And
us
a
going at
much
20-20.
needed side out, 20 all.
Yeah, can Day and Harward respond here after giving up their advantage in this second set?
Looked like she took a little bit of pace off that on the bad side, and maybe too much pace. That ball falls in the net. Another match point opportunity, the second for Cheng and Flint.
Yeah, always tough when you just try and make it and you sort of, your technique breaks down a little bit if you take too much pace off.
Blocked
And
by
we
Cheng.
play on. Blackjack's on the
again,
board. Let's switch
ice water in their
sides
veins.
at 21-21.
Another side out, 21 all.
And switching to the good side now are Day and Harward.
Yeah, that's a great point to you. That run from Cheng and Flint came on the good side. Let's see if they can maintain their ball control now on the bad side and close out this match. Is the option coming? They go with a tough middle.
Just calories.
Wow.
Match point number 3.
A
Yeah,
little
some
bit
good heat from Kelly
unorthodox.
Cheng in a tough.
(22-21). It is another match point opportunity for Cheng and Flint. Taking an extra breath here. Tough serve to the right shoulder. Option. Loving the passing from Haley Harward.
22, set number 2.
Yeah, well cleaned up that time from M. Day. I think that was probably a pass that got a little tighter than Harward wanted, but they will take it nonetheless.
The last 2 times we've seen Harward and Day try the short middle serve. The first was relatively effective. The second, Betsy Flint able to work in there to still get the option play to Kelly Cheng. Third match point. No freeze in effect. And an ace from the bad side. The number 1 seed to the final.
Down 15-19.
Yeah, nice recovery in that second set. They didn't have their A game for most of it, but they found another gear when they needed it most. You'd have to think going into the final against Cloth and Noose that they are going to have to ratchet up their precision. However, Cheng and Flint, they hope to win this title.
Yeah, but even to that effect, take a look at this last play. You gotta love the grittiness. Them down in the second set, pulling out some points on the good side and then closing it out on the bad side with the marquee service pressure of the number 1 seed, Cheng and Flint. just took down a very formidable opponent in M. Day and Haley Harward, one of the newer partnerships on the AVP Tour here in New Orleans. Congrats to those two as they cool things off. And here's a look at our final. It's finally set. 1 versus 2. The hometown kids, Cloth and Nuss, will face off against Cheng and Flint here in New Orleans. If Cloth and Nuss pick up the title, that would be back-to-back on the AVP Tour as they won the first